Welcome back to the NLP Meta Model. So we have three categories: distortions, generalizations, and deletions. And using the acrostic MLCCP NUS to help us memorize it, we get in the first category distortions, we get mind reading, loss performative, cause and effect, complex equivalence, and presuppositions. Then in the generalizations, we get universal quantifiers and modal operators. Under deletions, we get nominalisations and unspecified verbs and simple deletions. So far, we've covered mind reads, loss performatives, and cause and effect. So in this session, we look at complex equivalence. This is actually just a real simple introduction to complex equivalence. So a complex equivalence is about the relationship between two thoughts, ideas, events, or objects where meaning is attributed to an event. Something means something else, that is A equals B. For example, a man is late for his dinner date. The woman says out loud with a disappointed tone of voice, "You are late." But then she thinks to herself, "He does not love me anymore." She then decides to go out with another man. When her partner asks her why, she says, "Well, I thought that you did not want to be with me." A complex equivalence can be recognized as two separate thoughts, statements, ideas, or events that are connected in the way that A equals B. So what is missing is the linkage, such as that means, that just means, it must be that. So once we've identified the complex equivalence, we can challenge it to gather more information. A complex equivalence is different to a cause and effect. So I hate it when you are late, or you make me angry when you are late, is a cause and effect. You being late means you don't love me is a complex equivalence. The complex equivalence is at a higher level of abstraction. So you challenge a complex equivalence to get the two statements that are linked and or to get a counterexample. For example, so does A have to equal B? Does it always have to mean that? Or could it mean something else? So in our examples, we start with, "You are late again. You don't love me." And we can challenge the complex equivalence by asking, how does my being late mean that I don't love you? And the answer that we get could be, I believe that when two people love each other, that they phone ahead of time if they think they might be late. In our next example, the speaker says, another asylum seeker boat sank in Australian waters. The Australian government is responsible. We could reply by saying, what else could the sinking boat mean? And the answer could be, it could mean that it was unseaworthy or overcrowded. And another example, the phone won't stop ringing. I have to answer it. We could challenge that statement by saying, since when did a ringing phone mean that you have to answer it? What else could it mean? And the answer could be, perhaps it means I should think about hiring a receptionist. And then an example I saw on a talk show. If you believe in equal pay, then you must be a feminist. We could challenge that complex equivalence by saying, since when has a belief in equal pay equated to being a member of the feminist ideology? You can also use a complex equivalence to influence another person. So, learning how to use the meta model means that you will be able to torture your teachers at school. Buying a desk diary will mean that you become a lot more efficient, which means that you will make a lot more money, which means that you'll get to go on that holiday. Practicing the meta model on Facebook means that you will help facilitate positive change in the world. And we could throw in a cause and effect and say, using the meta model will make you a better communicator. In our next session, we play with presuppositions. Presuppositions are real interesting. For example, how many presuppositions are in the statement, the cat sat on the mat? Now, we'll leave that one with you. And if you have not yet seen the Meta Model memes that I post on Facebook, then I encourage you to look out for them and participate in the discussion. This is a real fun way for you to not only learn the meta model, but also to put it into practice and invite others into the discussion. Make sure that you comment on every post that I make and share them with your friends to see what answers they come up with. In the next video, you will learn how to recognize and challenge a presupposition. So we'll see you there.